So good day everyone, good day sir. Today I'm gonna discuss to you what is a vertical motion or the rectilinear motion with constant acceleration. But I'm gonna focus on vertical motion. So first I'm gonna recall the formulas or the equation we will use to solve vertical motion. So first these are the formulas. First is the Vf is equals to Vo plus At. So Vf is the final velocity equals the initial velocity plus the acceleration times time. Then the second formula is S is equals to Vot plus 1 half At squared. So S is the displacement or the distance is equals to Vo initial velocity times time plus 1 half acceleration times time squared. Then the last formula is the Vf squared is equals to Vo squared plus 2As, which is the final velocity squared is equals to the initial velocity squared plus 2 times the acceleration times the displacement. So these are the three general equations or the general formulas of rectilinear motion with a constant acceleration. So how did we get these formulas? So we got these formulas from the differential equations of kinematics. So what are those? First is we have V is equals to ds over dt. So it means that the velocity is defined as the time rate of change of displacement. Then another one we have A is equals to dv over dt. Right here it means that the acceleration is defined as the time rate change of velocity. So these are the differential equation of kinematics. After that, we can come up that v dv is equals to ads right here. Uh, that's how we get these three general formulas of rectilinear motion with constant acceleration. So I have three different problems right here. So I can discuss to you or we can tackle so that we can further learn what is vertical motion. So from these three general formulas right here, we can use this to compute what are asked in these problems or to solve these problems. So from the general formulas of rectilinear motion, we can use it by substituting other like this. We have v vf is equals to vo plus at. So from this formula, we can use this formula to solve vertical motion by changing its acceleration to gravity. So we can use g for its acceleration because it is vertical motion. So our new formula is Vf is equals to Vo plus plus or minus because it depends on the direction of the motion. Plus or minus gravity times time. And the another formula is we have the S is equals to Vot plus minus 1 half At squared. So we can change its acceleration by changing it to gravity again. And the S we can change it to h, which is the height, overall height of the object or the given. So our new formula is h is equals to the initial velocity times time plus or minus 1 half g times time squared. So this is our new formula. And lastly, last formula is the Vf squared is equals to Vo squared plus or minus plus or minus 2as. So right here we have the final velocity squared is equals to initial velocity squared plus or minus 2as. So we can change the acceleration to g, the gravity, acceleration due to gravity. So our new formula is the final velocity squared is equals to initial velocity squared plus or minus 2g, and s we can change it to h again, the height. So these are the formulas of rectilinear motion. These three right here. So we can erase this. These are the three formulas. So we will use these three formulas to solve these problems right here. So let's start. Let's start with the first problem. Sorry, I'm gonna erase it first. So our first problem is a ball is dropped from the top of tower 80 feet high. At the same instant, that a second ball is thrown upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 40 fps or feet per second. So the first problem we have, when do they pass each other? So it means the time that they will pass each other. Second one is where do they pass each other, or the displacement or the distance where they will meet each other. And the third one is with what relative velocity. So what is the velocity or the speed of the object? Right there. So first, let's solve for the time. So how can we solve the time? So we can solve the time by, oh wait, so let's draw a free body diagram first. How can we draw a free body diagram? So a ball is dropped from the tower, 80 feet tower. Example, this is the tower right here. A ball is dropped right here. So this is 80 feet. 80 feet. A ball is dropped right here. At the same instant that the second ball is thrown upward. So another ball is thrown upward right here. Upward direction. With an initial velocity. So the initial velocity of this ball is 40 fps. So what are the given? We have a given h equals to 80 feet. And we have a given of the initial velocity of the ball number 2. Initial velocity 40 fps. So these are the givens. So first, let's solve this first problem. So when do they pass each other? So we're looking for the time. What formula can we use to solve the time? So we can use the formula S is equals to VOT. plus minus gt squared. We use this formula because we have the s or the h is displacement. Again, let's solve for the let's use this formula. So we have the s or the h. So from the tower 80 feet tall, we can use this 80 feet. So we can divide the height of the tower. So right here is the h, the height of the tower from the top of the tower, and the bottom is 80 is h1, and 80 minus h1. So h1 can be solved from the formula 1/2 gt squared, because the first one is free fall, it has no velocity, so automatically the time this one will be cancelled. So we can solve for the h of this part with using the 1/2 gt squared only. So first, let's solve for this h1, this one right here. H1 is equals to 1/2 gt squared. So 1/2. So the constant of gravity is 9.81 meters per second squared, right? But we have a given feet per second. So we'll use 32.2 instead. 32.2 times the time. The time is what is time, right? Time is also missing. So h1 is equals to 32.2, 1/2 32.2 times time squared. So this is the value of the upper height, or the h1 right here. So we're looking for the time, right? So from this right here, 80 is 80 minus h. This is the value of this bottom displacement right here. So we'll be using this as the s, or displacement. So we can come up with the 80 minus h1 is equals to initial velocity times time plus or minus gt squared. So 80 is equals to, what is the value of h1? h1 is 1/2 32.2 t squared is equals to the initial velocity of this ball, the ball number 2, is 40 fps, right? 40 times the time. What will we be using, positive or negative? So because the direction is upward, so we will be using negative, times 32.2, the gravity, times time squared. So let's use the scientific calculator right here. So for the t, what will be the time? 80 minus the value of the h1, which is, wait, 1/2 times 32.2 times the time squared is equals to 40 times the time minus 32.2. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the 1/2 right here. It's 1/2 right here. So 1/2 32.2 times time. So the value of the time is 2 seconds. Am I right? Did I get the right answer? 40. Wait, I'll check the answer again. So it's correct, 2 seconds. So this is the value of the time. This is the answer of number 1. So when do they pass each other? It's 2 seconds. So next we'll be solving for its. Is it okay to erase this? I'm gonna be erasing this. What should I erase? So I'll continue na lang. So let's solve for the S. So we can solve the S by using the formula again. This formula H1. So this right here is, we can solve H1 for using the 2-second time. So H1 is equals to 1/2 32.2 t squared. So t squared is 2 seconds squared. So what is the value of H1? Let's solve it from the scientific calculator. 32.2 2 squared. So the H1 is 64.4 feet. So is this the answer? We got the H1. So this is not the answer for the number 2, but this is the upper distance of the tower. So this one right here, 64.4. So to compute the problem, so where do they pass each other? So we'll be using again the another formula. The VF is equals to VO plus 80 to get the final velocity, of the ball number 1. So the final velocity equals to, so we have no initial velocity because it is free fall. So this is automatically 0 plus the acceleration G 32.2. Sorry. 32.2 times the time. What is the time? It's 2 seconds. So we can solve for the final velocity of the ball number 1. So 32.2 times 2. So the final velocity is 64.4 feet FPS, feet per second. So next, S, we can solve for the S. So that's what we're looking for, right? So S is equals to 80 minus H1. So value of H1 is 64.4. 80 minus 64.4 equals to 15.6 feet. So this right here is what we're looking for. This is number 2. The distance where the ball pass each other is 15.6 feet. So next we get the next is we'll find the what is with what relative velocity will they pass. So we're talking right here the final velocity. So we have the final velocity of the ball number 1 and the final velocity of ball number 2 is, that's what we're going to find. So to get the relative velocity, so we will be subtracting the final velocity of the ball number 1 and the final velocity of the ball number 2. So to find the final velocity of ball number 2, we'll be using formula number 3, Vf squared is equals to Vo squared plus minus 2 GH. So we have the initial velocity 40 squared, then the direction is upward, so it will be negative 2 times 32.2, and the h, which is the this one right here, we'll be using this because this is the distance where they pass each other, so we'll be using that h, 15.6. So Vf will be so our final velocity will be, wait, it's still solving. So we have the time, we have the h where they meet. So our final velocity of ball number 2 will be 24.4 FPS here. So now we can solve the relative velocity by subtracting 24.4 to our final velocity of ball 1, which is 64.4. That's how we get the relative velocity. So 64.4 minus 24.4 V 64.4 minus 24.4 will be 40, right? So our relative velocity is 40 FPS. So this is the correct answer. So we got the time. So we got the time where they meet, or where they patch, when will they pass each other. Then we have the displacement, where do they pass each other, and lastly we have the velocity, or the relative velocity of uh of the two balls when they pass each other. So that's all for the problem number 1. So I will be erasing this one. Did you get it right? It's so easy to solve if you will be um if you will be understanding the problem first and draw a free body diagram. uh, that's how you can analyze it more. You can understand the problem, then you can use the right formula to compute the problem, to solve the what are missing. So that's it for problem number 1. Next we'll be solving problem number 2 right here. So I'm gonna erase this first to solve the problem number 2. So we're done right here. So right here, we'll solve for the problem number 2. Problem number 2 is a stone is dropped from a balloon at an elevation of 300 meters. 2 seconds later, another stone is projected vertically upward from the ground with a velocity of 75 meters per second. So first, let's identify the givens. What are the given? First, we have the elevation of the balloon from the ground. We have 300 meters each. 300 meters. And we also have the velocity. Projected vertical upward ground with the velocity. So this is the initial velocity of ball number 2. Is there another given? Is this all? No, we have 2 seconds right here. 2 seconds. So this is the time where the second stone is projected upward. I'm sorry, earlier I mentioned ball, but it's stone. 2 seconds. So first we'll be finding again the time. When will the stones pass each other? Right? Let's solve for the time for where the stones will pass each other. So how can we solve for the time? First, let's analyze the problem. I'll draw the free body. We have a balloon. Right here. Sorry for the drawing. I am not well skilled for drawings. So I hope you understand. We have a balloon with a 300 meter elevation. Elevation means the height from the ground. 300 meters. And we also have, so a stone is dropped, right? The stone is dropped. So, right here. So, I'm sorry. I'm gonna change this. Let's, the stone is dropped right here. And this is the elevation. $300 and after 2 seconds another stone is projected vertically upward. There's a person throwing the stone vertically upward right there. Right. So the question is, when will the stones pass each other? So first, let's determine, right, the time. So first, the time, t. We'll be solving the t. So this time right here is not it is not the, what do we call this? It is a time travel from the stone until it will be past each other. This is what we're looking for. Then we can also we can also use this time to compute the time traveled by the stone from the ground until they pass each other. T minus 2. This is the time traveled by the stone from the ground until they pass each other. This is the number 3. This is what we're looking for. And another one is the distance, S. Where will the stones pass each other? So first, let's compute for the time. So how do we get the time? First, we'll be using the formula S is equals to VOT plus minus 1/2 GT squared. So what are the given? We have 300 meters. H, we have 75 meters per second. The initial velocity of the stone number 2, which is projected upwards. And we have 2 seconds time. This is the interval time. So by this distance, we can also create another distance, which is 300 minus S, and this will be the distance traveled by the stone from the ground, right here, from the ground. So by using this S, we will be substituting this to this one right here. So 300 minus S is equals to VOT. What is the initial velocity again? It's 75. Because this is the distance from the ground, so we'll be using the initial velocity of the stone from the ground times the time we will be using this one this time right here, t minus 2. Because of the motion is upward, so we'll be using minus 1/2 the, so I will be putting it right here. The G is 32 point, oh no, we will not be using 32.2 right here because the given is meters per second, or so we will be using 9.81 instead. 9.81. What is the time again? So t minus 2 squared. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the value of the s right here. So this s is the distance of the stone from the balloon. So this s will be, s is equals to 1/2 gt squared. The initial velocity of the stone from the balloon will be 0 because it is free fall, so automatically it will be cancelled. So 1/2 is equivalent to 9.81 times the time, 2 seconds squared. So our s right here is, no, we will be not using the, it is not 2 because this is the interval. So it is t squared. So I'll be erasing this. So the value for s is 1/2 of 9.81. It's 4.905 t squared. So that is the value of the s right here. So I'll be erasing this. This will be 300 minus 4.905 t squared. So let's solve for the time. 300 minus 4.905 t squared is equals to 75 t minus 2 minus 1/2 9.81. It's 2 squared. So our time will be time will be 4, correct? 4.963 seconds. So it's correct, 4.963 seconds. So this is the value of the time. The time when will the stones pass each other. So we have solved for the time. So next one, we will be solving for the distance where the stones pass each other. So again, I will write here the what I've write earlier. So t minus 2 is equals to, this is the time, right? No. Let's solve for the stones, the distance of the stones where they pass each other. So from the formula, from the equation right here, so we can solve for the distance. We'll be direct substituting this time to this equation right here. The equation is S is equals to 4.905 t squared. So by direct substituting this time to this equation, we can get 4.963 squared. So we can get 4.963 squared. We can get 120.82 meters. So this is the distance of the stone from the balloon. So what we'll be solving is the stones when the distance of the stones where they pass each other. So this is not the final answer yet. So for solving the final answer, we will be substituting subtracting 120.82 from the original elevation of the stone. So 300 minus 120.82. So this will be the H. So 300 minus 120.82. 179. Oh, sorry. 179.2 meters. So this distance is the distance, this is the answer where the stones pass each other from the ground. This right here. This is the final answer. So next one, we will be computing the time traveled by the stone from the ground until they pass each other. So time travel of the stones from the ground. So we'll be to get that, we'll be using this time right here, because this is the time where they pass each other from the balloon. So to get the time from the ground, so we'll be substituting 2 from this time right here to get the answer of the number 3. So t minus 2. So our t is 4.963 minus 2 seconds. So the the final answer of the problem number this one is is 2.963 seconds. This is our T2. So this is T1 right here. The time where the stones pass each other from the balloon, and the time traveled by the stone from the ground right here. So that's all from problem number 2. We solve the 3 three problems. Not problems. It's missing. So that's how you solve this problem. First, you analyze. You will know what are given. Then next, you draw a free body diagram and analyze so that you can analyze more the problem. And next one is use the right formula to solve. That's all.